What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about dangerous situations and how to avoid them. What are we talking about, Paul?
We're talking about all the mistakes that we've made in the past that we are hopefully helping you avoid.
And we've learned from eventually. Like the fourth time we did it, we learned.
It took a hot minute.
Yeah.
We're in like year 7 of this journey, and we finally learned a couple of things. Also, some folks made some things that solve a lot of these problems all in one handy dandy product, and that would be the first aid kit. But we're going to save that one.
That's only one of 5 things that we want to talk about today, though. First aid kit, it seems pretty obvious, but there's a lot of other things that we feel people on the internet have told us they're not doing, and they think it's neat. And we don't want you to think it's neat. And now it feels like a Dare commercial. D, I won't do drugs. A, won't have an attitude. Who's with me? Nobody?
I'm with you.
Bye.
No, I'm with you and I'm staying with you.
Do you remember Great Gang Resistance something? You remember Great?
I don't think I ever got
it. It was
that.
like they had a lion logo.
I grew up in northern Michigan. We didn't have gangs. All right, so let's get into the top 5. These are some common mistakes that we see other people making all the time that honestly bother me. When I see them, these are one of the few times where I like actually leave a comment and be like, hey, this is from one dad to you. Be careful. And the number one is just, we're just getting this out of the way quickly because I say it all the time. Have your PFD. I know it's fun to like be out in the sun. I like soaking up some rays, and I don't necessarily love wearing a PFD all the time. But if you have a quality PFD, it's not so bad to wear, and it could be the thing that saves you. When you're a kayak and you tip over, there's always going to be a chance of danger. If you're a river fisherman, this is beyond a non-negotiable. It should be the first thing that you grab. So absolutely have your PFD and use it as a tool, right? Get something quality that's comfortable, get something that you enjoy wearing and that can actually help you out. Have your tools, maybe some weights, whatever it is, but just please, please, please wear your PFD. So that's just like number one, just don't forget it.
Non-negotiable. We've had too many people hit us up in the comments and be like, yeah, I bring it, but I don't wear it. Well, if you don't wear it, it doesn't help you much if you fall out of a boat or if you hit your head. So we would recommend wear it.
And Instagram's great because I like it when I see people shaming other people when they're not wearing the PFD. It's the only time where I'm fine with that.
Yes. Just versus the opposite, which is
every other time I'm not, but that one,
okay.
That one works for me. Number two is going to be a first aid kit. I actually started bringing like Band-Aids years ago, and I thought I was an absolute genius.
Yep.
I have learned recently, very starkly, that that's not good enough. It really isn't. I just recently had a huge, fortunately it was ice fishing, debacle, and I didn't.
You can see it by going to the description and watching the video in the link below.
If I had had this first aid kit, it would have taken care of all of my problems. I could have kept fishing, or at least been way more in a much better situation. So I know it sounds lame, but this product I think is really innovative because it takes care of that problem. You don't have to have to go create your own thing and like look up stuff and buy a bunch of stuff. It's like one purchase, it's already ready to go.
You can get a basic first aid kit. You don't have to get the track pack. This is just pretty cool because it's bright, it stands out, it says first aid. If you were unconscious and somebody came to your boat and they saw this on the side of the boat, they'd be like, oh wow, first aid. Now I can help this person. That's great.
Hopefully me.
So that is pretty cool. You can make your own. By all means, buy it or don't.
And it's nice because if you're a kayak fisherman, this just attaches to your kayak very easily. So that is the big benefit.
Well, what you really have to have is a dry bag because why? You're fishing. Where do the fish live? In the water. Water is wet.
And what do Band-Aids not like to be? Wet.
They don't function. Trust me, I had a regular like old REI first aid kit. It was in the cargo hatch of my kayak. Thought it was safe.
You were so smart.
It was soaked. And every time I needed a Band-Aid, it would just go on and then fall off. So don't do that. Just get a dry bag. You can find these super cheap. And then take your first aid kit and just shove it in there. So this is the one that we've got from Yak Attack. This one's pretty cool because it's a rolly boy. So it rolls up and it has everything you need from gauze for puncture wounds to your abdomen.
That's so crazy.
To regular gauze, to tape, to scissors. There's a multi-tool in here. There's safety pins.
They got scissors. There's actually all kinds of stuff. Now, some people have called out
space blanket.
Space blanket. So it's a little bit of a survival kit slash first aid kit, which I think is really cool. And it does come with a dry bag, which is nice. And or this guy right here, which I really, actually we put this on the ice sled because we have tracker on the ice sled. So that was pretty clutch. But you can do that on your boat, obviously. But this is really easy to stash. This is not a ton of weight. You can add stuff to it at your proclivity. So some people called out, hey, you want some kind of fire starter, which I think is a really good one. I would advocate for super glue to be added to that. Surgical glue is way better and has the antibacterial stuff that you need in there. Super glue on a small cut can get you done. So there's some things you can add to it, but that covers the basics. It has what you need, which is really nice. Again, one kit, one buy, one add on to your kayak, no problem.
Yep.
Again, when you're, I think of river fishermen most often when I think of people who actually need to have some kind of safety kit. The river is not a place to play. I have been in dangerous situations and felt lucky to get out without being injured or tipping over and having a real problem. I'm less worried about, oh, I lost my rod or reel. Like, yeah, that sucks. How about losing your life? That would not be fun.
Typically on the river, you're like far
You're
from
gonna
the
be
pull
far
out.
away, or from people.
You could be downstream, you could be upstream, you could be like an hour's paddle back. If you're waiting, you could be a 2-hour walk back.
Yeah, easily.
So you might have to just triage some things, and don't do what the dum-dums in our Instagram comments flooded in to say. Mr. Alpha Bro said,
drink some whiskey,
hey,
then pour some whiskey, and then drink some more whiskey and keep fit. Like,
first of all, only cowboys in movies pour whiskey on wounds. So Paul had an open wound, a laceration.
Here's a photo.
Yep, it was pretty bad, as you can see. A lot of people are like, show me the picture or else it didn't happen. You guys are weird. Second of all, you just want to see his dogs. That's what it was.
Just want to see the dogs.
That's all it was.
The pups were out.
Yep. So this thing was open, and these guys legitimately, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times at least, I counted in the comments, were saying, take your fish hook, take some braided line, sew yourself back together, keep ice fishing.
You're going to get an infection. You're going to swell up so badly that you have to cut your boots off. You're not going to have a great
You're going to have to cut your foot off.
But and you wouldn't have to deal with any of that. And a lot of people said, hey, a first aid kit would have just fixed that. And I was like, yes, you're correct.
It was like the one time we didn't have one.
This would have taken care of the problem.
Our first aid kits were in our kayaks, not in our ice fishing. Honestly, we didn't expect to go ice fishing. That was like the first day.
It was first day in 3 years, actually.
Yeah, so...
But that's what happens.
We weren't prepared. Be prepared.
There's no time where you expect to like get hurt and have it happen at that time. So bring the first aid kit. It's not that hard. If you need to make your own, make your own. But just bring something where you feel like you have what you need to safely manage whatever may happen to you in the situation that you're in. That's all I want to say for number 2. For number 3, this one's big for me, and this one is so easy, but it seems so lame. Like, I remember when I was young, people would tell me to do this, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, nothing's gonna happen. I'm not doing
whatever
that.
I want.
And this is number 3 is like, just text somebody, anybody, even yourself, frankly. This is where I'm going fishing. This is the day and the time, and it's going to be timestamped on your phone. The reason I say that is, let's say you get, again, we're really focused on kayak fishing, but this goes for boats and anything else. If you, let's say you're a diabetic and you're in your boat and you have like an attack or something like that, and you have low blood sugar, and all of a sudden you pass out, your boat just keeps going. That's not going to stop, right? Or if
you might be in it, you might not be in it.
We don't know, right?
It keeps going.
But at least someone would know or be able to say, well, he was on lake whatever, he was on river stretch whatever at this time on this day, and then they can start to go look for you and maybe find you and get you the help that you might need, right? So river fishermen, again, this is extremely important. I was at put out X on this day, wavy face, tell me good luck. Like, text your friend, text your neighbor, text your mom, text your dad, your sister, your brother, your friend, your girlfriend, your wife, your significant other, your pen pals, your pen guys, whatever it happens to be, right? Just let somebody know. So police can go check your phone and figure that out, or someone can say, yeah, this is where you were. It takes absolutely no time, and it's just a really easy way to potentially get you help you're needing a severe, serious situation. That's an easy one.
It really is, and it's funny that it's super common for hikers. Like, hikers are like, duh, no brainer. That's what I
leave
do
the
all
note
the time.
in my truck. I text somebody, whatever.
Fishermen and women will go out.
Like, I don't care.
They're doing the same thing, but like in a more dangerous situation on water, usually, or even if they're bank fishing, you're hiking and fishing. That's all you're doing.
One fall in, one you smack your head, and all of a sudden you're in way more trouble than you think you could be. And you break an ankle, you break a leg. It happens all the time. So it's just an easy one. Do that one. Number 4 for me. This one is like so lame. It's so silly.
These are all, first of all, the caveat. We won't say that anymore. These all seem lame on the surface.
Fair enough.
We hear you. We're here being 2 dads trying to dad you in a situation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, but at the same time, so many people every single year get hurt or lose their lives by just simply not following these 5 things that we want to talk about today.
And this one's really goofy. Like, and this one I've had, I can't tell you how many people, and honestly me, have had this exact same scenario happen. When you don't bring a paddle, kayak fishing, just not bringing a paddle.
Up a creek without a paddle?
Like, bro, like,
weird.
Look, I understand. Like, the number of times your drive has crapped out on you. I would tell you, actually, for me, 2.
Mine is
2 or 3.
3 times.
Yeah.
So you never know when you're going to need that paddle. Even if you have a motor, what happens if the motor craps out on you too? What if the motor locks up because you got some line coiled up in it?
That happened. I blew a unit
Yep.
last year, and if I didn't have someone to help me out, I would have been totally screwed because I did not have a paddle.
So I had to drag them across the lake. And if you have a buddy, that's great. But if you're out there on your own, all you have is a motor and no paddle, you're screwed. You're stuck. You're going to do this thing all the way back, laying on the front of your boat.
Yeah. Well, or you got to call somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours before you get home. So another thing too is, you know, a lot of people just have like what do we used to carry? The assault paddle. It's just like
the mini paddle
with the
the extendo paddle.
The extendo paddle's okay.
It'll work.
I'm okay with it.
In a pinch.
In a pinch, but not in current.
Yep.
Not in wind.
Nope.
I mean, not on a full size kayak. It's just not going to work. Yep. So break the paddle in half, shove it in the back of your boat, and just have it.
Store it inside in the hull. A lot of them have open access front hatch. You can get in the hull. I used to just shove my paddles down there. Then worst case scenario, I can bust them out if I need to. Or a lot of modern like sit on top fishing kayaks these days, they have like actual
clips in the back.
Clips in the back where you can break apart the paddle and just stow it behind you, and it's out of the way.
The day that you need it, you'd be like, oh, thank the Lord I had that.
It's happened to me 3 times.
and I kid you not, on different drives. Like I think the only drive that hadn't blown out on me was the PDL drive. Like the Hobie one blew out on me multiple times.
The Hobie blew out on us the most.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a $6,000 kayak, and you would never think that would happen, and it totally happens. So you could break a prop on anything. They have the paddle.
So the last one here, tip number 5, is bring a basic tool kit. Now this is absolutely necessary for any boat anglers and kayak anglers, because people get mad when I call kayaks boats. Whatever, but boats and kayaks, you guys need this, obviously. You got a whole bunch of moving parts on the vessel that is floating you across the water to catch said fish. And if something goes out, like the drive that we've been talking about, you need that Allen key to just tighten something up, or you need a screwdriver or whatever. Like, you need that kit. Goop, marine goop, saves lives, dude. JB Weld in a pinch could also save lives.
Let's go through. So I'll tell you guys what's in my kit. I wish I had it with me, but what I have in my kit is I have one of those screwdrivers that has the bits that can be changed out.
You swap it out.
And I carry like 3 rows of those bits because you can easily drop one. So, I have Phillips, flathead, and then actually I have 2 Allen sets. And then I have a whole Allen, like set of Allen wrenches on their own. So that gives you tons of backups. It doesn't weigh very much, and it's really just one screwdriver and a bunch of bits. So that's how I do mine. I also carry wrench set. So I do have the 3 of the most common wrench sets.
Adjustable wrench is a good idea, obviously.
That fits in mine. And then I have goop, marine goop, and then I have super glue.
Super glue is a must.
Which actually, I think that's the thing I use the most because I use it for my baits.
It's mostly for tackle.
I think that might
Sometimes injuries also.
Sometimes injuries. I think that's it. I think that's what I keep in mind. Now, granted, that's for kayaks, but that goes for things like battery repair, tightening up like the wheels. If you have the Boondocks landing gear, those can rattle loose when you're driving a lot, and losing a wheel would be devastating. So, but also for drive maintenance. So when I had mine, the reason I had all the Allen keys, when I had the Hobie, the universal adjustment, I've had to make that on the water, and you can't reach that with one of those screwdriver bits. So that's why I kept the Allen key. So just know your kayak, know the tools that you may or may not need, and then have those tools specifically for the kayak that you're in. Just bring what you need, nothing you don't. But I just put that in like a tackle box, like a plastic tackle box.
Grab any 3600 size tackle box. That is now your tool kit. That is what we use. I have everything that Paul has just mentioned, but I also have a giant Allen key for my native Type X,
for the big boy.
Because the big drive needs a big Allen key, so I have that in there, as well as actually a magnetic retriever in case you drop
that's a really good idea.
And that has been, it's like an extendable one that you get for like $3
Telescopic.
As you're checking out at Cabela's. You just grab one. So that has been super helpful as well.
Yep. And I have dipped into that kit at least once a year. Every single season I've dipped into it at least once. And that's actually where I keep a lot of my Band-Aids and stuff now. Like, so before having this first aid kit, I just keep Band-Aids in I have the one in a waterproof container. I also, this is a big one. This should be number 6. Keep some freaking Advil or Tylenol or something like that on your boat, just like extra strength. It doesn't go bad. They come in little capsules. They don't weigh anything. And honestly,
put it in your first aid kit.
Just put that in your first aid kit. Put that wherever is going to be handy for you. But I have that with me at all times, because I think we've all been in that scenario where you get a little bit dehydrated. You don't have any water on you.
That should be number 6. Bring water, please.
We're at number 7 now. Where are we at?
You know what? This list, it goes on and on, because you want to have fun on the water, and fun can quickly go away when you are injured. You have a crippling headache. You're not hydrated. You can ruin the entire day, especially those hot summer days. You guys, please just bring a water bottle. I bring 2
Well, I
every
mean, like
time.
everybody likes to hop in the yak, have a couple dad pops, and go, do that thing. I understand
Bring water
that
also,
that's your
please.
thing, but just bring some water,
or a Gatorade or whatever, something to stay hydrated. Gatorade or Powerade are great because you get a little extra salt in there. You get some electrolyte,
the stuff you need.
More lights than your body can handle.
More lights. Gotta have all the lights.
Gotta have all those lights. But yeah, that'll keep the day going. So if you want to have a fun 8-hour, 9-hour, 10-hour day on the water, do that. Just a few precautionary measures make the fun continue on.
Yeah, well, and you avoid just having like something catastrophic happen. I've been in that situation very recently, so this video is important to me. If you guys are watching this video for the first time,
I'm invincible. I'll never be hurt.
I promise
you're wrong.
Yeah, you're definitely wrong.
But that's fine.
Yeah, you're not if you're one of the 6% that thinks that you can beat up a lion in a fight, you should have all this stuff so that when you get in a fight with that lion, you actually can win. I'm just going.
And
also,
for you. Wear a GoPro so we can watch it.
Please do. Yeah, the whole world wants to see you fight a lion. Anyway,
like Grizzly Man Diaries, but like Lion Man Diaries,
Safari Edition,
Alpha Bro Diaries.
Oh God!
And he thought he could actually fight the bison, so he charged the bison. He was gutted instantaneously.
That's why I'm here, guys.
So that's why I'm here, guys. So in summation, you should probably follow these tips if you want to continue to have fun out on the water. And yes, talking about safety is not always fun, but being safe, meaning that you can continue your fun on the water, is fun. So maybe consider that. Just again, few precautionary measures. They don't really bother you in the long term. Like having a toolkit, having a first aid kit, it's out of your way. It's not a big deal. Having the paddle, put it out of your way. It's not a big deal. PFD,
Advil,
get over it.
Tylenol.
Wear the damn PFD. Advil, Tylenol. They go into the first aid kit. Just quick. Hey, honey, I'm going here. Hey, buddy, I'm going here. Hey, I pinned a pal. Here's where I'll be. Whatever. Just do the quick thing. It doesn't take that much extra time. Make it a part of your routine, and fishing will continue to be awesome.
And you'll have that one moment. I think we've all had this one moment where like something happens, like, oh, thank God. If I wouldn't have had that, how would I made it out of that situation? Like, what would have happened if I didn't have that? That's the one you want. What you don't want is, oh, I forgot my brr. And then when you really needed it. Like, because I think we've
electrical tape.
That's actually a really good one.
Add that to your kit
too. Those are all.
On the water, Pike gashed my thumb open when we were waiting, and all we had was electrical tape. So I just went, not good. But we were 2 miles upriver, so we didn't have a choice.
Better than not that. So, yeah, we've all had that moment. Don't have the bad version of that moment. Have the good one where you think, oh my gosh, I have a burn. And then that's exactly what you needed. Yeah, don't have that. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. Stay safe, have fun, catch fish. That's what we're all about. And we'll catch you on the next video.
Yeah, let's do that.
Slow exit left.